Hello again, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I'm John Retlin. This is my review of WWE Raw. We are on the road to Money in the Bank, and there was some pretty good stuff on this show. There was some bullshit, there was a bit of messiness, and Lana is still allowed on WWE TV. Oh, and Jerry Lawler decided to be racist. Pretends to be shocked. Though I can't say that I hated this show exactly, and please let me know in the comments what you have to say. So let's just start off with, firstly, I do want to say, before I actually get into the review, I hope every single roster member, staff member that traveled and continues to travel to these live shows during this whole pandemic, stay safe, stay sound, and I hope you guys stay safe and sound as well. If you're self-quarantined, give yourself some stuff to do around the house. We will ride this out if you're an essential employee. Remember, our jobs are important. Let's do what we can to just, earn our paychecks, do what we can to make sure that the world keeps on moving. Because we are the lifeblood. No, we are not a Ring of Honor group. Anyway, so Drew is here, and he does a weird SNL type stand-up thing where he cracks jokes. He first thanks the fans and then says Brock couldn't last 5 minutes with him, meaning Drew outlasted Brock Lesnar. Drew McIntyre has more stamina than Brock Lesnar. Have fun on seeing that. Or have fun seeing that. I don't kink shame. And then he shows footage of beating the Big Show. Remember that match that happened? Remember? Big Show gained the WWE Championship match in 2020. By the way, check out my review of the Big Show. It actually wasn't all that bad. It wasn't great, and they're getting a season 2 apparently. So, anyone can get a title shot, Drew says. He says he's going to be a fighting champion. We may get open challenges, or anybody can come and get it. Can they last more than 5 minutes with Drew? I'm going to keep saying this until everybody is uncomfortable. That pretty much should be the tagline for this channel. I just keep saying stuff until people are uncomfortable. But anyway, Andrade comes down, and then Zelina comes down. Why is Andrade U.S. champion? He was not at Mania for unknown reasons. I don't know. Maybe him and Charlotte are out trying to make another generation of wrestlers. Or Andrade didn't want to be a part of Mania because of the pandemic going on, or whatever. I don't know the reason. Maybe he was just being written out because they wanted to change the script. Vince Russo has struck again. I just recently watched the WCW Nitro reboot, so I'm sorry. I'm still thinking of all these swerves and all this bullshit that happened. But I got one question here. So they brought up the history of the NXT, the NXT title match that they had at TakeOver War Games, where Drew got injured and Andrade beat him. And by the way, credit to Velena for long ago calling that. Good call by you. That was almost 3 years ago, but 2.5 years ago as of now. It's crazy how time flies. Time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like a banana. I think that's how that works. So, I got a question though about Andrade being U.S. champion. Zelina says he's defended his championship month after month. No, he's been written off TV month after month after month. I'm not saying that Andrade is the only person that has been written off for whatever reasons. People have been suspended or people have had to leave TV or whatever. You can't make a championship important unless it is defended on TV or at least defended occasionally. And Andrade is a great wrestler, a spectacular wrestler. But the U.S. championship means absolutely diddly shit. It doesn't mean anything. And, Andrade is a great wrestler, but he doesn't really mean much of anything because it's always haphazard when he's going to be around. So anyway, we have a match. We're going to get a match a little bit later. And the first of 3 qualifying matches for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, apparently, it's 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown. I was hoping maybe we would get 1 from NXT. We could get 7 in the match, but I don't think we're going to get that. It wouldn't hurt. It would spice up the whole damn thing. And, oh yeah, you'd give the NXT Women's Division something to do. And, maybe take the title off of Charlotte Flair a little bit quicker. Don't worry, I'll get to that. Ruby versus Asuka. It's the evolution of red versus blue, pink versus green. This was actually a pretty good match. Ruby, oh yeah, is really good at wrestling. And now that she is healed, does not have the injuries to both her shoulders anymore, she is able to be even better. And she was able to wrestle, injured like that for a while. So imagine how great she's going to be even now. That she's fully healed. And, oh yeah, hasn't been part of any show since, Elimination Chamber? I mean, that's kind of some fresh bullshit. But her and Asuka had a really good match here. Asuka is a goddamn motherfucking delight, just dancing, having a whole lot of fun, and really enjoying herself. Ruby, I would have liked to have seen Ruby win here, but I am, of course, a huge Asuka fan. I'm very happy that Asuka won. I really hope that this means something for Ruby once this whole thing calms down. Maybe we move her to SmackDown. We have her face Bayley. We have her beat Bayley. Because Ruby's a great heel, but don't tell me she couldn't be an anti-hero and beat Bayley. I mean, I'd be all for Ruby being Becky, but it might be a good idea to maybe move her to SmackDown at some point. Who knows? This is a good match, though. There's tons of fisting action and a big old knee to the face, and we get Lawler hitting on Ruby. Well, Lawler, she's over, high school age, so I don't know why you would hit on her. You always go for high school kids that have a curfew, you sick pedo son of a bitch. Don't worry, not going to be the last time I mention Lawler. There was scissoring trading where Asuka tried scissoring Ruby, Ruby tried scissoring Asuka, and then Asuka scissored a little bit harder to get the victory. And then Asuka and Charlie had a bit of a pink off, Asuka's hair and then Charlie's dress. I kid, I make these jokes, but Charlie at least had some energy with her interviews, and so did Sarah Schreiber. It's nice that everybody seems to be doing good and making the best out of a bad situation. And Asuka was just having a lot of fun. And then we get an NXT advert. Charlotte is NXT champion, so you know when to, switch over to AEW or literally anything else that doesn't involve listening to a fucking mannequin talk. And then the Cruiserweight tournament, because Jordan Devlin, because of the travel restrictions, isn't able to defend the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, so we're getting an 8-man tournament. Fine, whatever. And then maybe we get an interim match at SummerSlam if everything's calmed down. Or at TakeOver Dublin. Hell, I don't know. So we get the MVP Lounge. MVP is here because apparently he was the one that picked up the phone. They were like, we need a goddamn legend, pal. MVP's like, okay, I'll come around. Well, I mean, he's also from the area, so I don't think it would be too far for him to travel. And we get Ray versus Murphy in a qualifying match next week. We get Alistair versus Austin Theory, the Alistair Theory, which sounds like a weird sci-fi movie. And then we get Apollo Crews versus MVP. MVP, who was last in a Money in the Bank match, I believe in 2010. That was also his last WWE, his full-time year in WWE before he went to New Japan and then Impact. Okay, cool. It was awkward. It was very awkward, and MVP's a really good speaker, but it's obvious that he's just there to get Apollo Crews into the match. For the love of God, I love MVP. Do not have him beat Apollo Crews. Not that I trust him to do anything good with Apollo Crews, but at least put him in the match. Let him be spectacular. So we get Alistair versus Oni Lorcan. Well, if you want somebody to get a jobber entrance and you want somebody to put Alistair over, there's only one man for the job. Boy, I really had to force that one out like a fart in church anyway. So yeah, we get to throw him up, and then we get Oni being thrown down. Oni got just beat. Oni just got fucking beat. Of course, Jerry at one point said that Oni looks like Cesaro. Jerry Lawler being not only racist, but baldest. How dare you be baldest? Bald people unite. I really should be careful with the hand signal I make wearing black clothes and having really no hair. Anyway, fade to black, though. There we go. Alistair gets asked by Sarah Schreiber, what is your strategy for facing Austin Theory? My strategy is to win. They really need to stop making their backstage interviewers seem stupid, because you can actually allow them to have some personality. It just made Sarah seem dumb, and Alistair just, practically just looked like, what the fuck are you even saying? And I mean, it is what it is. Becky then cuts a promo talking about Shayna, talking about how she used mind over matter. She's men talk. If you've seen Harvey Birdman, you'll get it. If you don't, you are horribly confused. And again, almost 9 minutes in, you were probably horribly confused, saying, what is this bald idiot saying about wrestling? This almost 40-year-old bald idiot. Christ, time is really flying away from us all, isn't it? So She talks about mind over matter, that kind of stuff, and whoever wins the Money in the Bank, if it's somebody from Raw, she has a plan, or if it's anybody from SmackDown that wants to jump to Raw, she has a plan. Maybe she's going to call up Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir and have them be her bodyguards. Watch them do that. Watch them do that and just totally ruin Becky, because Duke and Shafir can't do anything because they both have 2 left feet. I hadn't decided to be mean to them lately, so I figured I'd throw that shot. Zelina Andrade. Andrade has been defending his championship month after month. No, he has. I know Zelina is being told to say this shit, but it just makes her sound stupid because it's not true. Zelina is very good with words. Andrade really isn't either. Andrade's English is getting better, but this is why Zelina is there. Zelina's there to carry the whole thing, and Andrade is doing good because at times, I think when his promos were getting good for a while, and then he wasn't cutting promos, and Zelina was. And then Andrade seemed to get, whenever he gets flustered, he seems to get lost. And I don't know if that's just because he's supposed to be like a heel and he's supposed to like just get upset. But Zelina needs to cut the promos, and Andrade works on whatever he's doing, and he really just could be the silent, charismatic, and you can be a silent, charismatic guy in the ring. I don't know. It's just a bit weird because they made Zelina seem stupid with the whole thing about the championship, and Andrade just at times looked a little bit confused. But also, we have the group that's, Austin Theory, Angel Garza, and Andrade, and that actually is going to factor into a match a little bit later. Sarah Logan and Shayna. There's an elbow spot where her arm gets stepped on or whatever. Fortunately for, for Sarah's husband, she is a lefty. That's mean. And the match is thrown out. And at first, Sarah is declared the winner. So I guess maybe Shayna did an illegal move. Oh, no, wait, the ring announcer just screwed up. Everybody was confused. Wrestling Twitter was all goddamn confused. It was really, really bizarre. And then Seth had, dead eyes or whatever, or like deadlights, that might actually explain if he had deadlights. He just opens his mouth like Pennywise. I don't know what I'm on about anymore. Zelina comes on commentary for, gross, explains the outfit. Comes on commentary for Tozawa versus Austin Theory. All eggs, Austin Theory. I now demand to see him channel Gaston from Beauty and the Beast juggling the eggs. I don't know what I'm on about anymore. These shows are hit and miss when it comes to no crowd, so you gotta just have some fun. So, Zelina likes when her men, dominate in front of her. She really likes watching that. Just the brutal domination and everything. Don't ask me how I know this. Don't ask me why I think this way, because I don't fucking know. Jerry Lawler said ramen noodle moonsault. Look, Lawler, you really need to learn. Lawler, I know that you're a Trump supporter, so you're the worst kind also because you don't even try to hide your racism. He's the worst kind of human being anyway, whoever he did support. He's a fucking racist and a fucking piece of shit and has been for a number of goddamn years. He's a goddamn horrible human being. He has, and maybe that whole thing that happened in 1993 didn't actually happen, but don't tell me that Lawler isn't a bit of a creep and a bit of a pedo with the fact that he dates women significantly younger than him and is somebody that, I don't know, could maybe benefit from not being on TV anymore. And I'm not talking about the pandemic. I don't need to hear a 71, 72-year-old jackass that has no business being on WWE TV in 2020, plugging away and killing any talents with his goddamn racism or whatever. He should ask his sons, his son, how to not be racist. That's right, Lawler, because you only got one now. And yeah, that's going to be a little bit mean, but you know what? Lawler deserves to have mean things said about him. Because if he wants to be a goddamn racist piece of shit, it's one thing to make jokes and have fun. That wasn't a joke. That was him just saying, hey, I can get away with this shit because Vince is my boy. And, and we're basically all around the same goddamn age, and they're not going to fire me, and USA wants me, and they're paying him a shit full of money. That's really what it is. So yeah, Lawler, maybe don't be a goddamn racist. Tozawa could beat his ass easily. He could have beat his ass in his goddamn prime. Jerry Lawler was a territorial wrestler that had no business ever being as big as he was. He was lucky that Vern Gagne even gave him a platform like in the AWA in 1987, 88, whatever. Lawler is a goddamn idiot. So I'm done talking about Jerry Lawler. I'm done talking about this piece of shit. Maybe I'm not even going to mention anything, but maybe I should call out all his goddamn racism. So we get a stranglehold at one point or whatever, so you got to hide your phone cords, guys, because you really got to hide. Anyway, that's enough of that. And then Austin Theory hitting the ATL for 3, which means the next time he gets a championship match, he's going to blow that big lead. Hi, Falcons fans. So, Ray says he will beat Buddy, or rather Murphy, next week. To be fair, he was Buddy Murphy for so long. There we go. Ray, I think, will win this match. I actually would be very surprised. I'd be very surprised if they didn't put Ray in it, but it'd be disappointing because Buddy's, his star seems to have cooled off. And then Rollins says he's still the Messiah, and maybe he would be swaying a whole lot less if he took off the leather jacket. So, who was the camera woman? Apparently, it was Angel Garza's fiance, who I totally forgot he proposed to on NXT TV in one of the most forced, proposals ever. Hi, I like ruining love. I wish them nothing but the best, but that felt really forced. Angel Garza versus Tehute Miles. Thigh popping action, there go the pants, and wing clipper for 3. And then we get WWE's version of LIJ, Austin Theory, Andrade and Angel Garza teaming up. And I know that Andrade and Tetsuya Naito did that in Mexico before it happened in Japan. I get that, or I get it. I do fucking get that, guys. But in WWE, the J will stand for jobber. And Austin Theory is probably going to be the one taking the pins a lot. We get Kairi and Asuka backstage being adorable. I really like Asuka and Kairi. And then we get Nia versus Kairi Sane, Money in the Bank qualifier. So Nia Jax was off for about a year with 2 torn ACLs and had actually been cleared for a bit. I understand that Nia needed to recover first and then get back to where she could get back in the ring shape. You'd think she would have used that time to get in shape, not pull Yokozuna, but also to get back into having the ability to have a good match and maybe not act like a, tranquilized 3-legged gazelle near a river that was about to be taken out by a goddamn alligator. Unfortunately, Nia Jax is essentially just that. She is as uncoordinated as hell. She can't do any goddamn thing in the ring. Nia Jax is fucking rotten. She's fucking rotten and she beats Kairi. Beats her with the Annihilator. And Kairi wants to goddamn leave, and Kairi should be allowed to leave. Charlotte, history with the Queen. Here's the thing, Charlotte. Have some goddamn passion in your goddamn promos. Don't talk like you were a fucking real doll with the power supply at 1%. Like, it just, Charlotte, at times, her promos can either be a 9 or they're a -20. And this was a -20. She's talking about, a lesson in humility. Charlotte, give up the NXT Women's Championship and just fucking go. She could be gone for 2-3 goddamn motherfucking years and I wouldn't miss Charlotte one goddamn bit. Yes, this is a bit of a rant-filled one because you know what? There was a lot of good on this show and I praised quite a bit of it, but I'm just sick of Charlotte. I complain about Roman Reigns getting a lot of pushes for years. John Cena getting a lot of pushes. Charlotte's is worse because they have a loaded women's roster. The women are, as loaded, maybe in some form or another. I kid. Nobody's drinking. And if they are, in moderation. But this is a loaded roster from, NXT, NXT UK, including that, Raw, SmackDown. There are plenty of women all over. And the fact that they keep focusing on Charlotte, I'm not saying that Charlotte isn't a star, but she can't be the star, and it's not going to help NXT. Ratings-wise or, interest-wise. Charlotte may be seen as a star, but don't tell me that her beating Io Shirai, and by the way, she's facing Io Shirai, maybe Io can teach Charlotte how to do a goddamn moonsault instead of just doing a full rotation and laying on her feet, which I can't do. I'm not athletic at all, but Charlotte needs to learn how to do a goddamn moonsault. So anyway, Charlotte, fucking terrible-ass promo. They can't get the NXT Women's Championship off of her soon enough. Lashley with Lana versus No Way Jose. Lashley in pants to hide his almighty. He yells at Lana, telling her to shut the hell up, which is exactly what everybody should have been doing with Lana for at least the last year and a half. Lana does not serve a purpose on WWE TV. I know she's going to be there for a while because she signed a 5-year contract because Vince McMahon is stupid with money. Did you see how much he wasted on the XFL? Anyway, spear for 3. And then Lashley looked upset with Lana. And I know it's just for storyline purposes, but get Lana off of TV. Just get her off of TV, have her do PR shit or something. She doesn't need to be on there. She isn't helping Lashley's character. And Lashley should leave also. A few people should leave. Not everybody. Just leave. Rollins, he will stomp out all doubt. What doubt will he stomp out? I wonder. We get Viking Raiders versus Cedric and Ricochet. Remember when the Viking Raiders debuted and they were the Viking Experience and everybody just blew up about it because it was a stupid goddamn name ever, the stupidest goddamn name ever even? Yeah, we get that. It was fine. There was some good action. This did go a break. It didn't need to go a break. It was there to fill time. We had some cartwheel flippy shit. You damn kids and your cartwheel flippy shit. And then a bocce ball splash, as I call it, because of the botch Viking Experience. For 3, Charlie with the Street Profits. They mentioned how the Vikings introduced eggs and something else to the English language, and the more you know, and then Bianca channeling that Family Guy, that's what she channeled, by the way, because Bianca's actually a pretty good talker. They just made her stereotyped. And she says, go get the win. She says, go get that smoke, but you know what? That's stupid. Stop being stupid. Stop making people talk stupid. You kids get off my lawn with your goddamn weird music and your goddamn weird references and all that. So, yeah, Drew then yells at Andrade, says to Andrade Bazzelina, you going to control her? No one can control her, whatever. Well, just put her on a high chair, then she can't get down. That's mean. He says to Drew says to Andrade, you belong to me. Drew, cheap labor is kind of frowned upon. You don't need a gardener that bad. That's mean. That's really mean. But that's the implication I got because I have watched too many goddamn, stand-up comedy routines where people have been incredibly offensive. So we get Drew and Andrade, and there was a chopped Austin Theory during this match. It was basically a squash. We get a Claymore for 3. Austin Theory, I think, is still dead from that chop. He needs to be revived. Like, you know, stick some shockers into his neck bolts or something like that. No, I don't know what I'm on about. Rollins beats up Drew and hits him with 2 curb stomps. This is a messy, messy review. I can't wait until the Derb is back doing these reviews, because then maybe I won't go so off the goddamn rails. But anyway, guys, the longest Raw review I've done in a while. But let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritland. I'll see you soon.